Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. I am a recent first-time mom. My son was born just a few weeks ago and I've been documenting my whole pregnancy journey here on YouTube and plan to share a lot more of my journey into motherhood. So if you're new to my channel, definitely subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. So today I wanted to sit down and share with you the things that I actually used in my hospital bag. I did a whole video showing you what I was packing in my hospital bag, which I'll leave a link to up above. But you guys, I'll admit it, I barely used anything in the hospital bag. So here is what I actually used. I also feel like I need to preface this by again saying I was a first-time mom. I was also giving birth in a pandemic and just didn't know what I needed to bring. But here are the things that I actually brought that were helpful. First off, AirPods or any sort of headphones. My labor was actually pretty quick-ish, but I did still listen to music on my phone during labor, so having my AirPods there with me in the hospital was really helpful, and I'm glad that I ended up bringing those. The other electronics item that came in super handy that I would definitely bring again would be a 10-foot charging cable. So we actually brought two of these, one for Jacob and one for myself. It was really nice being able to have my phone charging while I was like laying in the hospital bed, and because we weren't near any like outlets, and having that long charging cable there, it definitely came in handy. The next thing was snacks. So I brought some fruit snacks and some Cliff Bars as well as some beef jerky. Because we were there during the pandemic, we weren't allowed to like leave our room or like leave to go for food or have people bring us food. So we just packed a whole bunch of snacks with us, and I didn't really eat a bunch of snacks like during labor before I got my epidural and everything, just because I wasn't hungry. But it was good for Jacob to have a bunch of snacks, and I ate some like afterward, after I delivered and everything. So having those with us at the hospital was definitely a huge win. The other thing was bringing my own water bottle. So this wasn't the exact water bottle that I brought, but I brought one of those water bottles that has like the straw on it, which the hospital supplies you with like a cup like this basically and a straw. But it was just nice having a water bottle because they were able to like fill it up for me, bring it back, and having it with the straw and like the closed lid, and I could like be laying down in bed and drink it was really helpful. So I am actually glad that I brought my own water bottle. I did use that a lot. Okay, now let's talk toiletries because this was a big one for being in the hospital. I did use my earplugs in the hospital, so did Jacob. When I was in labor, after I'd gotten my epidural, I was so exhausted because I really hadn't slept that night before because I was in labor. So when I had the epidural, I took a lot of naps in the hospital right before delivery, and having the earplugs was really helpful to kind of tune out the noise going on in the hospital so that I could take a nap. The other thing that I used that was definitely important were hair ties. So I have these like Invisibobble hair ties ones. So I had these with me in the hospital, and I had my hair up the entire time I was there. Like as soon as I was in labor, I wanted to have my hair up in a bun, and I kept my hair up the entire time because there was no time to ever do my hair, and just having it up and out of my face to keep me cool was definitely a must. So we were in the hospital 48 hours after delivery, and I did take one shower while we were there, and Jacob also took a shower. So I did bring some toiletries with me for like if I were to take a shower. So one of those things, having a hairbrush, that was very important. As well as I have like, this is like airport status that I packed all my liquids in a bag, but I used my shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and I also had some makeup remover wipes, which these were important as well during labor because I came in with a little bit of makeup on, and definitely during labor it was kind of like sweating off my face. And so having a makeup remover wipe was very important so I didn't look like a raccoon. The other thing that I used in the hospital were tissues. So I packed my own little travel size thing of tissues. I had to ask for tissues at the hospital. There weren't any in our room, but I will say I cried a lot after delivery while we were in the hospital. Just all of the postpartum emotions and everything definitely got to me. So I went through a lot of tissues, and I had my own, but I also had to ask for some at the hospital. But having those packed with me ended up being very helpful. And then of course, having chapstick was very important to keep my lips nice and hydrated during labor and delivery. The other thing that I used while I was in the hospital that I don't have like with me right now are flip-flops. Like having shoes to walk around the hospital with were very important to take a shower with, walk to and from the bathroom, and just like around our room, because I didn't want to walk around barefoot in the hospital. So having that came in very handy. I will also say things for Jacob that came in handy were having pillows and a sleeping bag. We brought all of like the bedding for Jacob so that he wouldn't have to use like just regular random hospital sheets. Like bringing a sleeping bag worked out really well, and those were like the only sorts of linens that we ended up bringing. We also, like I said, we did bring like a couple pillows, which was nice to have like a more comfortable pillow than the hospital ones. I used one, and Jacob used the other, and that was a little bit more comfortable in the midst of our hospital stay. Now honestly, that was basically all that I really used while I was in the hospital. I know that I packed so much more than that, but everything else was really just supplied by the hospital themselves, all sorts of postpartum care stuff. I ended up walking away with a few like witch hazel pads and some like medicated spray that they gave me, but they didn't send me home with like a ton of things to use for postpartum, but I did get a few. So all of that kind of stuff was all provided by the hospital. But the other thing that I packed a ton of that I didn't use at all was clothing. So I actually stayed in my hospital gown pretty much the entire time I was in the hospital. It just seemed a lot easier to stay in the hospital gown because people were coming in to constantly check on my down there area, and also as we were trying to nurse, like being able to have easy access for all of that was important as well. So I honestly just ended up staying in my hospital gown. Like I got like a new one, but like just staying in the hospital gown like the entire time I was there. I did use a bathrobe for getting out of the shower, but that was pretty much it. Everything else was just like being in the hospital gown. And I of course brought an outfit that I was like wearing home as my going home outfit, but that was pretty much it. I know that there's all these people who look like super cute in their own little clothes and robes like in the hospital, but for me personally, the hospital experience like after delivery was just really hard emotionally because we were struggling through nursing and other issues with our son. So I just honestly didn't feel like getting dressed up or like doing my makeup or anything like that. Like I was just trying to get through. But like that was like the least of my concern. So all of those sorts of things I didn't use at all in the hospital. And the other thing that we didn't use was a whole bunch of clothing for our son. So I packed quite a few outfits for him just because like I didn't know if we were going to wear multiple outfits or what that was going to entail. But honestly, he was just like in his diaper the whole time in the hospital and just used the hospital blankets. Like there were a couple times where we had him swaddled up in like a couple of the cute swaddles that we had got for like pictures and things like that. But that was about it. He didn't wear any clothes besides the day that we like put clothes on him to take him home. So he went through just one outfit, and that was really all that we needed. So as a first-time mom, I was definitely way too overly prepared, or like packed way too much going into the hospital, but we really didn't need very many things. I will say the only thing that I wish I would have brought that I didn't have was either like a throat lozenge, like cough drop thing, or like hard candy, because my mouth just got super dry during labor and I just really wanted a cough drop. Like my throat was so dry. But besides that, I had honestly everything that I needed plus more that I didn't even use. So that is what I actually used in my hospital bag, and I know that for my next kid I will definitely keep it a lot more simple as we go to the hospital. So thanks so much for hanging out with me and joining me for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what was something that you found really helpful to have in your hospital bag, or what is something that you for sure are going to bring, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we